Have you ever noticed how your shoulders creep up towards your ears when you're stressed? Or how your jaw gets tight during difficult conversations? What if I told you that stress doesn't just affect your mind, but it literally gets stored in your body's fascial system? And that it can get stored there for years if you don't address it. Welcome back, everybody. I am Joseph Barker, and I am your friendly neighborhood structural integrator. In our last video, we explored what fascia is, the incredible connective tissue web that runs through our whole bodies. And today we'll be delving into something fascinating and incredibly important: how emotional and psychological stress actually becomes physical tension that is trapped within fascia. Firstly, let's understand something crucial. Your mind and body aren't separate entities. They're one integrated system. Your fascia is rich with nerve endings and receptors that are constantly communicating with your nervous system. When you experience stress, whether it's a work deadline, relationship conflict, or even just sitting in traffic, your body responds immediately. Your nervous system triggers what we call the stress response, releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. But here are what most people don't realize: that this stress response doesn't just happen in your head. It also creates physical changes within your entire fascial system. So what happens exactly when your fascial tissue is stressed? Well, there's the contraction. Under stress, your fascia literally tightens and contracts. Think of it like a full body protective armor that your system creates to guard against perceived threats. Secondly, there is dehydration. Chronic stress affects your body's ability to maintain proper hydration in your fascial tissue. Remember, healthy fascia needs to be well hydrated to glide and to move properly. Third, adhesions form. When your fascia stays contracted for an extended period, the fibers can actually stick together, creating what we call fascial adhesions. These are like internal scar tissue that limit your movement and create ongoing tension. The fourth is compensation patterns. When one area gets sticky, your body creates workarounds, but these compensations can spread tension through the body in completely different areas of the body and will make you then move in a way that your body is not supposed to. Now, stress just doesn't get stuck randomly. It tends to accumulate in predictable patterns. The neck and the shoulders are classic stress holders. That's why when we say someone carries the weight of the world on their shoulders, your upper trapezius and your cervical fascia are constantly responding to this mental stress. The jaw and the TMJ area. How many of you clench your jaw when you're concentrated or worried? This creates fascial tension throughout the entire neck and head. The diaphragm and the rib cage. When you're stressed, your breathing becomes shallow and restricted. Over time, this creates fascial restrictions around your ribs and your primary breathing muscles. The pelvis and the hips. This is where we often see deeper stored emotional stress. Your psoas muscle, sometimes called the muscle of the soul, runs through the core of your body and is intimately connected to your stress response. You can even have held tensional patterns of stress within your feet and your legs, especially if you're always running from one thing to the other, or you feel like you always have to go somewhere. You might be thinking, okay, but why does this matter? Here's the thing. When stress gets trapped in your fascia, it doesn't just stay there quietly. It can cause chronic pain that seems to come from nowhere and doesn't respond well to traditional treatments. Restricted movement. You might feel stiff or like you can't fully relax, even when you're trying to rest. Emotional reactivity. Because your body is already in a state of tension, it takes less stress to trigger you into a fight or flight response. Sleep problems. It's hard to fully relax when your fascia is holding on to stress patterns. And here's the really important part. Even after the stressful situation is over, these fascial patterns can remain, keeping your nervous system in a chronic state of alert. The good news is that just as stress can get stuck in your fascia, it can also be released. Here are some effective approaches. Breath work. Breath work is incredibly powerful. Deep, conscious breathing helps to hydrate your fascia and signal to your nervous system that it's safe to let go. Gentle movement. Yoga, Tai Chi, or even simple stretching with awareness can help encourage fascial release. Body work. This is where techniques like structural integration, craniosacral therapy, osteopathy, and myofascial release can really shine. These approaches work directly with your fascial system to release trapped patterns. Mindfulness and somatic awareness. Learning to notice where you hold tension and consciously soften those areas. And sometimes you need professional help because some stress patterns are so deep or so old that you need the hands of a skilled practitioner to get that stress and that tension out in a safe way. One important thing to understand, when stress is released from your fascia, you might actually feel worse temporarily. You might experience old emotions, feel tired, or have areas that feel tender. This is completely normal and is usually a sign that the healing is happening. Your body is finally letting go of old patterns it's been holding on to. Sometimes those patterns have existed for years or even decades. So at this time, it's really important to have compassion and empathy for yourself and for this whole process of changing your body physiologically. Remember, your body keeps the score of everything you've experienced. But the beautiful thing about fascia is that it's incredibly adaptable. With the right approach, you can help your body release stress patterns that you've been carrying for years, allowing you to move through life with more ease and resilience. If this resonates with you and you're ready to address the stress that's trapped in your fascial system, I would love to help. Please check the description below for how to contact me. Don't forget to describe with more insights into how your body really works, and let me know in the comments, where do you feel stress in your body? Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day.